Yeah. One of the things that I struggle with is actually like finding leads for the ecom clients, because
Yeah.
what I tend to what tends to happen with me is like, oh, let's say I source 10 leads, but that takes me longer than actually writing out the emails.
Oh,
Because emails
what's
are just
taking
like,
you?
huh?
What's taking you long stuff like to find leads, right?
Yeah, to actually find the leads.
Yeah, yeah,
I feel like that's actually harder than for ecom, not for anything else. Like if it's
yeah.
local business, then you just Google the
Yeah.
in blah
And
blah
you're
blah,
starting.
and like
Yeah.
50 comes up, and then it's like just pick up the phone kind of thing, you know.
Mm.
But with local businesses, especially something like dentists, it's actually really hard to get past the gatekeeper.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like you mean for dentists, right? Yeah. So I mean, you have
Yeah, for
some
dentists.
methods that you can prefer. Like for example, for dentists, I would definitely go with LinkedIn or cold emails.
Okay.
And for another niche, maybe they are more receptive to cold calling.
Hmm.
But in I think cold calling works in every niche actually.
Yeah.
So
One question I have, like that I'm sure a lot of beginners would have is like, what I see tends to happen with the successful agency owners, they start off doing local lead gen,
yeah,
but then they transition into ecom. But that's because when they got into local lead gen, they didn't really have contractors, you know? So they did the service delivery by themselves, but then they got contractors to do the local lead gen, and then they could transition their own business into ecom. But as someone that wants to like kind of fast forward it, because obviously money is in the ecom space,
yeah,
as opposed to local lead gen, and also Facebook is shifting towards like favoring ecom businesses over local
uh-huh.
businesses anyways. um would you How would you recommend getting into ecom straight away, and what would you say is the best outreach method for ecom?
I mean, I think if you get the client, like it's perfect. But the thing is that like the difference between local and e-commerce is that with e-commerce you will have you need much more ad spend,
Mm.
because you will reach like more people. Like with the local business you can reach hundreds of thousands of people,
Hmm.
but with e-com you can reach like millions. So the ad spend is really different. And the problem is that if you're a beginner and you start with e-com right from the beginning, you need to be, I mean, you need, if you have the process, if you know how to deliver results for them, or if you have the team to do so, then it's perfect. You can go straight with e-commerce. And by the way, I recommend this because local business, I mean, even with local business, you can do what I did when I had local businesses is that I made them e-commerce. So what I
Right.
did for them is that simple landing page with Squarespace, not ClickFunnels, like simple landing page with their product, and then I drive traffic to that landing page. People buy the course. It was yoga session, so they buy
It
the
was
yoga
what?
session.
Oh, your yoga session.
Yoga, yeah, it was a yoga studio. So they buy
I
the
have one that I have a yoga studio that I'm work. Well, they
yeah,
want
it's
they
going
want to
well.
potentially work with me, but they're like they're quite cash strapped. So,
Yeah, that's the
and I
problem.
don't really want to sign them for anything under 1,000. So yeah.
Yeah, and problem with that with the local business is cash flow. Like they don't have any cash flow.
Mm.
But e-commerce business, obviously they have more money. So right now I'm working with the company only if it's making like more than at least 500K
Okay.
per year. Because when I was focusing on business that were making like 100K, they couldn't even pay for marketing. They have other problems, I think, than
Yeah.
marketing.
Yeah. I think with any e-com store that's making less than like I'd say about 200K, they're
Yeah,
gonna have problems more on the operation side.
yeah, yeah,
So handling like customer complaints and blah blah stuff like that.
yeah. And
How many team members do you have, by the way?
so my agency is like, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to provide everything for e-commerce businesses. So I started with paid traffic. So I have a media buyer. Then I
Mm.
also provided SEO. So currently I have a media buyer, an SEO guy, he knows everything about SEO. And I also have a web developer that is doing e-commerce websites, like, just in case. I also provide this because I want to be providing everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
so are you like a full service e-com agency then?
Yeah, that's what I want to be doing. I don't want to focus. I mean, I think it's always best to when starting to focus on just one service. One niche, one service. Like if you are doing e-commerce and paid traffic, I think this is the best way to scale fast. But what I see for the future of my agency is I want to be providing all the services for e-commerce. So design, video, like video editing, just everything for the marketing. But so yeah, it's currently three team members.
But that would as well, right?
What? Sorry.
What about your overheads? Because having more team members and offering more services kind of like increases the risk as well, no?
I mean, no, it's it's just the same thing. Like you focus on one service, you master it, so you have the process. Then I focus on SEO, so I build with my SEO guy the SEO process. And then like when I have an e-com client and I'm doing a strategy call with him, I'm like, okay, what do you need? I talk about his needs, about what he wants at the moment, and I always recommend them start with paid traffic, so we can pay traffic for 90 days, like 3 months. Even now I say 4 months, because you have 1 month of testing, 3 months of profits. And so I'm just like, what we will be doing is we begin with paid traffic, then I upsell them on SEO, then I upsell them on marketing automation, emails, automatic emails. So I love to provide all the service.
Okay.
And after the media buyer is doing everything, my SEO guy is doing everything related to SEO, and it doesn't take much time. But if you're starting to do this right from the beginning, your attention is going all over the place. And so
yeah
at the beginning, I think it's good to like as you're doing it perfectly, like like right now, what's your niche, like what are you focusing on?
So right now I'm literally just like, if you want to work with me, cool, because I need cash.
Yeah.
so e-com ideally, but I haven't really reached out to too many e-com brands, just because like a buyer without case studies, it doesn't make sense to. So I did try, don't get me wrong, I had 0 responses. But the two niches I actually want to work with is like towards the end is e-com and student accommodations.